All right, and now we're going to go into an attack from the rear. Somebody reaches around your neck and tries to choke you from the rear or just control you from the rear around the neck. So the first thing I want to talk about is, as always, getting in the proper base. When you get grabbed from behind, whether it's around the body or around the neck, anything like this, his first goal is to drop into base here. Now notice, do it again. He's not dropping straight down. Upright posture, and he's not going into a super deep squat. Both of these I can start to pull him off balance, or you're going to be carrying a lot of weight. There's a slight bend in the legs, the feet go out. Do it again. Notice both legs go out immediately. He doesn't try to just step into position. And he's here. And we covered this before in the clinch positioning. His elbows are a little bit away from his body. What this does is if I try to choke him, it makes it a little bit harder for me to grab deep around his neck. If I go like this and drop straight up, I can get a deep grip around the neck. By going forward and his hips being back, it's a little harder for me to get the grip I want. Okay? But if it does happen, here. Now what we're not doing, by the way, you'll see this later, it's not a rear naked choke defense. It's the person just trying to grab you around the neck to, again, either control you or do some sort of forearm choke like this. Turn this way. He wants to bring no thumbs up, control, and what he's not trying to do is fight me with muscle. He's going to keep his elbows glued to his body this way. The other one can come inside the forearm. Some people like to go outside here. Some people are super picky about it. For me, I'm not going to have time to be moving all around the arm, okay? So, and arm lengths are different, things like this. What you want to make sure to do is whatever grip you get, you're getting deep with your fingers and you're gluing your ribs to your body. Compounded with the dropping the proper base, it's going to be harder for me to do this. Now, let's get super kind of specific. When you're practicing this, by the way, make sure you're being a good uke. Let me back you up just a little bit. When I grab, I'm not like this where I'm just very lazy. Drop into base and try to throw me. Where it's just, there's nothing. Somebody grabs you around the neck or around the head in any way, they're doing it for real. If you can, notice when I turn and I grab, I kind of generally have one hip forward. It's awkward for me to have my hips straight to him. Okay, so he would like to have my hip, if he can, right in the middle of his back. Don't overthink this, but as you practice more, if I reach with the right arm, as he drops into base, this leg will actually kind of go out more than this leg. So when you find this, I know this is super picky, but when you find this and he does that, now my hip is lined up in his back. What this means is that actually when he bends over, it actually lifts me more than if he was in the middle of me, which is where I kind of bend, okay? So it makes it a little bit more effective. Now, as the uke, when you practice this, keep your body rigid. It'll help him learn the move, especially if there's quite a bit of size difference. So when I do this and he starts to lift me, I keep my legs straight, okay? Here. Now, the throw is not a throw in the way of like a koshiguruma or ogoshi. I'm not trying to do a big hip throw. Literally what he wants to do is, as he does this, his legs will straighten some, and he's going to just look. I always tell people, just look between your knees, this way. If, I see a lot of people do this, turn this way. They drop into base, they try to do the throw, but their shoulders never come below their hips. And so what's going to happen is the person isn't going to go this way. If anything, let's turn this way. They'll fall this way and potentially onto the side of your knee, which can be very damaging, okay? So when we do this, he wants to look straight through his knees. Okay, let's turn this way, okay? So we're gonna go nice, what's that?
I throw you?
Yeah, we're gonna go nice and slow. He drops, he lifts, and he keeps control of the arm right here, okay? So one more time. Again, when you're practicing this, I would suggest in the beginning, practice just picking the person up. And again, the uke, make sure you're not do the throw where I'm just like, here, okay? I'm being very, I won't say realistic, but I've added tension to it, okay? When he does this, don't stop here and then try to twist the person. I see that a lot. I should go directly over his shoulders because he's looking through his knees. Now, if he gets at the very end and I haven't gone quite yet, then he can do a slight rotation with his shoulder over the shoulder that my arm is around. But this time I go, he drops right into our control position. And that is our standing self-defense. For the rear choke, he has not pulled you back. You were able to catch him early and be able to take him forward. One last thing, okay? If I go this way and he tries to drop into base and I'm resisting, but I'm not really pulling him back. It's just making it harder. What he can do is he can start to walk backwards and load me onto his hips, okay, by taking my base out, okay? So it's just a thing to add in a practice situation. And that's, again, our defense there.